The starkest examples we have is the beginning of federal laws that are aimed at the Chinese, starting in 1875 and then into the 20th century. And the arguments in the Senate, there's language that's being used of like, these are heathen people, right? So accusing them of, categorically idolatrous, right? Like not belonging to a Christian nation, not belonging to a people of God, obviously. So why would we ever allow them to naturalize? The cartoons that depict Chinese immigrants at the time. There's one, you might have seen it in one of the stories, but it's they're locusts. They're basically grasshoppers coming in to take over. And so it's like a divine plague that's going to come and invade. And so that's one place where you see that kind of apocalyptic visual or yellow peril stories of Chinese coming and taking over the United States and taking over, and the dragon floats, in the sky above Washington as the end of that story. But then you have other places where the US is imagined as like, and this is in relation to disease. It imagines itself as this clean, white, pure place in which to be American is to be hygienic, which is, really interesting. And then every people group that white nativists want to reject get tied to a certain disease. And some of this we see probably the worst possible treatment is at the US-Mexico border when in the 1910s and onward, Mexicans were understood as most likely to carry typhoid. And like in Revelation, where people are, you can enter the gates if you washed your robes, if you're wearing white robes and you've bathed. These workers coming in at the border were you had to get a bath ticket, like literally have to wash to get in the gates. But they were also dousing them in kerosene to kill ticks or lice that they thought would carrying typhoid. There was a fire that killed people because of that. And they're also spraying them and dusting them with DDT and Zyklon B. Absolutely carcinogenic and horrible. There's one section of an interview where of a Mexican migrant worker who said it was horrible and they dusted us with the powder. It was really strong, and they would joke afterwards, I guess we're all gringos now, right? So we can get in because they're white from the powder. And it was like this dark humor, right, of what's happening. And those are the places where I see it come out really starkly of that understanding.